Hi everyone and welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm very happy to have you here, guys. In today's video I want to review and share my thoughts on two fragrances from Tomavicci. If you have been watching my channel for a while, you know I have spoke a lot about Zenobia from Tomavicci. If you love the vibe of Mula Mula, if you love the vibe of La Capitale, but with the twist that Zenobia has. By the way, if you haven't watched the review, please watch the review because I go really in depth there. How it smells in the opening, how it develops, how it dries down. But if you enjoy this kind of fragrances, Mojo from Twins Paris, you know, Zenobia is your girl. Definitely, it's an amazing fragrance. But in today's video, I will share my thoughts on two other fragrances from this house that were kindly sent to me by the team from Tomavicci. So thank you so much. I will share my thoughts on a fragrance called Empyrean. I want to let you know how this fragrance smells like, how it develops, if I enjoy it or who I think will enjoy it. And I also want to share my thoughts on a fragrance called Ange Noir XXI. Both are extraits de parfum. Let's start. Let me think, which one do I want to start with? Let's start with Empyrean. Let's start with the one that I find definitely very feminine, and let's move after to the one that's a unisex that to my nose leans slightly more masculine. So guys, Empyrean, I will add the notes here on the screen. Empyrean, if I'm not mistaken, was one of the first fragrances from this brand that they ever came out with. Empyrean, and there was the Empyrean and Demigod, if I remember correctly. So let me tell you how this fragrance smells like. Okay, so this fragrance opens out with a burst of citruses. I smell right off the bat bergamot, you guys. Think freshly squeezed bergamot juice. It's cold, it's crisp, it has that very specific sweet and sour facet that makes your mouth go pucker a little bit, or that makes your mouth pucker a little bit, you know. And it's green for sure. So this is how it opens up. So yes, the opening of this fragrance is crisp, it's slightly cold, like I've mentioned, sweet and sour bergamot, you know. I also detect here right from the start a beautiful floral accord. Now the floral accord to my nose smells pink, but it's that kind of very romantic and dainty and pretty kind of pink. And to me, you guys, I smell peonies in this fragrance. It's the same feeling when you go to your garden or to a garden that has peonies and you dip your nose into the peony flower, you know, and you smell that flower and it feels so smooth and so velvety and so feminine. This is a very similar accord you have here. So I'd say the opening is dominated by the citrus accord with the floral part. I know that it also has listed a strawberry facet in the opening. Personally, you guys, I don't detect strawberry, and I have to be very honest, I would have loved to get a strawberry in the opening, because strawberry is an accord that I love in fragrances. I feel like it adds this very beautiful, playful element to a fragrance. Again, very pretty, very dainty, very cute, you know, playful at the same time. And I feel like the strawberry here would have added, again, a very playful vibe to the fragrance. To me, I don't smell it. And also, I don't find this fragrance very sweet necessarily. It does have a slight sweetness, but it's deep in the background. But especially in the opening, and then from the opening till the hard part, is not the sweetness that shines the most, you guys. To me, it's that citrusy facet with that floral accord and this very emblematic, like, flower stem type of greenness. You know, when you go to a flower shop and you want to purchase a flower bouquet for someone dear in your life, and the florist, I guess the person is called, as he or she is preparing the bouquet, he or she cuts the flower stems and you get that raw greenness, but that specific raw greenness that comes from the flower stems, I detect something very similar in this fragrance as well. So this is the trio that's the most dominant, and of course with some musky accents in the background, but the overall fragrance feels pretty cold, pretty crisp. It definitely feels very sophisticated and elevated. Feminine, yes, but it's not that very uplifting, happy, bright kind of feminine. To me, it's a feminine fragrance that feels definitely more elegant for sure. like very put together, very chic, very elegant, you know, like I would picture this fragrance on a woman that dresses definitely more elegant in her day-to-day life. Not to say that you couldn't wear this fragrance with like a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, because you could, but to me, like when I smell this fragrance, like the image that I have in my mind when I'm smelling this fragrance is like a very put together woman, you know, she's going to a corporate meeting, I don't know, she still wants to feel extremely feminine, but not like I've mentioned, that dainty, pretty, girly feminine, no, that serious feminine in a sense. But when I mean serious, you guys, I don't mean serious, think Coco Mademoiselle, you know, that to me is again a very statement, put together, chic, feminine scent, but that is more serious. Dare I say, a little bit more rigid to my nose. This one is not rigid, it just feels very put together, you know. Yeah, now from the opening till the heart, I do detect some changes, but not like crazy changes. To me, what happens is this very pronounced sweet and sour facet of the bergamot accord that felt very crisp and vibrant in the opening and very pronounced in a sense. Let's just say now it tones down more and more until you slowly lose it completely, but you still don't lose that green facet, because the green facet from the bergamot in the opening is, let's just say, replaced with that raw green facet that you get from, imagine like a freshly cut flower stem, you know what I mean? It's almost like you have a peony bouquet and you just cut the stem of the peonies. You cut a little bit from the stem, so you have, and you smell that in the air, you smell the peony whiffs, you know, so you get this beautiful and very feminine and romantic floral accord, and you also get that raw green edge to the fragrance. I have to say, this reminds me a lot of fragrances inspired by Delina or Delina itself, with a twist, even though I cannot pinpoint what the exact twist it is to my nose. I feel like that raw green facet is not as accentuated, and instead you have something that smells like sweet and sour in a sense, genuinely sweet and sour, but with a little bit of sweetness as well. However, this doesn't follow, like if I were to tell you if I find this one more similar to Delina or Delina Exclusive, I definitely say to me this is more similar to Delina than to Delina Exclusive, because to my nose Delina Exclusive has also a more of an amplified creaminess in the background and that beautiful sweet fruity facet with the vanilla, you know. All in all, it's just more round, more creamy. This one, even though as it develops it definitely gets more rounder, but I cannot say that I find it creamy. To me it smells round in a sense that it smells round around the edges. It smells very smooth, very well blended, but it doesn't smell creamy to me. Even though as I smell this fragrance right now, I have to say I do get gentle sweet facets, but in a sense it's almost like they peek through, but in a very shy way, you know, through that beautiful floral bouquet that you have going on. But it feels so romantic and so feminine, you guys, and so beautiful. I don't know, so radiating at the same time. And just in the background you have this like raw green accent, you know, and a little bit of sweetness. Now I know this has listed an incense accord, if I remember correctly. Now I have to say, do I get incense? In the heart, no, but I have to say in the dry down, especially in the last bit of the dry down, this fragrance, even though it's more of a linear fragrance, it changes, but the changes are more subtle, I would say. I start to detect an accord that smells like something from a dry woody accord, and I'm guessing that might be something from a dry woody accord with something from an incensey facet, I don't know. But do not purchase this fragrance looking for an incensey forward fragrance like Uda Swat, for instance, because it's not. But at the same time, if you are scared of the incense facet here, don't be scared, because it's not prominent at all to my nose. This is pretty much how this fragrance smells like to me. Look, if I were to say, to me this is definitely very feminine. If you're a man and you love to wear it, you do you, but if someone would ask me, okay, is this feminine, unisex, masculine, I definitely say this is a very feminine fragrance. I don't know if I could picture this one on a man. Of course it depends on the type of man, it depends on your taste at the end of the day, but this to me shines in such a beautiful way on a woman, but on a woman who's more, I don't know, I get very put together when I smell this fragrance. It's not, look, it's not really the kind of fragrance that I would wear myself on a day-to-day basis. I know this might sound very weird, but I'm not really a big fan of elegant fragrances on me. Even though I don't mind them in a sense, but I don't know. I am not that typical, very put together on a day-to-day basis. I mean, look, I guess I am put together, but in a very different vibe in a sense, you know. This to me is that, very modern. She's modern. She has her nails done, nothing too crazy. She has her hair done, but very, again, nothing too extravagant, you know. Very simplistic and well done, you know, but tasteful. She dresses in a very tasteful manner, you know, she's not too provocative, she's not too undressed, neither she's too sloppy in a sense or too tomboyish in a way, you know. She dresses very elegant, she's very put together, she wears heels on a day-to-day basis, she works in a corporate environment, even though she exudes femininity. This is the kind of woman that I imagine when I smell this fragrance. Am I that woman? I am not. I am not, but if you are and if you wanted to try this fragrance, definitely do so. Recently, you guys, I saw on their Instagram page that they have launched a discovery kit, and I think that's amazing because, you know, I'm not really the kind of person to encourage you to blind buy fragrances, especially when a fragrance is much more expensive like this one is. When it's a luxury fragrance, even when it's a very affordable fragrance, I'm not the kind of person to encourage blind buying. I always say be very mindful with how you spend your money and only invest in fragrances that you actually love and wear, because what's the point, you know? What's the point of having like hundreds of fragrances if you enjoy a third from your collection? In my opinion, I always have to give this disclaimer, but you do whatever you want with your money. I'm just giving you a piece of advice. Now, speaking of blind buying, I think it's amazing that they came out with a discovery kit. You can purchase the discovery kit and you can test, if I remember correctly, all the fragrances from their catalog. You can test Empyrean, you can test Ange Noir XXI, you can test Zenobia. By the way, at the end of the video, I will tell you between these three which is my favorite fragrance, so make sure you stay tuned till the end of the video. But this way you don't have to blindly purchase a fragrance. You can start with the discovery kit, you can take your time with testing their fragrances, and you can see if you find anything that truly speaks to your soul in a sense. Now, this next fragrance is called Ange Noir XXI. This was released just this year, I think in 2024, and the perfumer behind this fragrance is the same perfumer who created Zenobia. Her name is Angela Stavrevska. Again, I hope I haven't butchered her name, but yeah, she's the master perfumer behind this fragrance as well. And this, to me, if I remember correctly, this was marketed as a unisex fragrance, but I will tell you how I feel about it. Because, you know, I love to wear even some more masculine fragrances here and there, but I do have a very specific taste with the kind of fragrances that I wear, like unisex / masculine. Now, this fragrance, first of all, this fragrance is very strong, very projecting. Luckily, I didn't bring my hand here closer because I would have choked myself like it happened with Caramel Cascade when I was trying out that fragrance. Yeah. So this opens up, you guys, with a very dark, woody, fresh accord, but this fresh accord only lasts for a minute maximum, in a way, and I only get it in the opening. So you have this very dark, fresh, woody accord with a fruity freshness from the green apple. The fragrance in the opening feels pretty dark, pretty mysterious, pretty grounding, pretty nighttime in a sense. You know, it's definitely a dark fragrance. It's not a very rich fragrance or a warm fragrance with a lot of fruity accents or like with a lot of assets that add a lot of brightness to it. No, this is dark. This is grounding. This smells like this color, but mixed with something green. So, see, that woody accord started to fade away. I'm not really sure what's that accord, but I only get it for, let's just say, all in all around a minute in the opening. Then I start to detect a lot of that green apple facet, and to me the green apple, it adds again a burst of freshness, but that fruity style of freshness to me. And the scent starts to go slightly warmer, because in the opening it was very cold, very like melancholic, cold, moody, you know, that was the vibe. And I have to say, I start to detect as well, and I think it's not listed from what I remember, I start to detect something that smells like yellow and fruity and abstract. I don't know why I'm tempted to say a little bit of pineapple is here as well. If not pineapple, again, something yellow, fruity and abstract. But let's just say 3 minutes into the opening, these are the notes that I get the most, but in a sense, not that they are the main or like the dominant ones, and then you have all these facets. No, this fragrance as a standalone fragrance starts dark and ends up dark. But throughout the development of this fragrance, you have here different accents that make this fragrance, or let's just say that add almost like a different layer to the base note, you know. So this, like I've mentioned, starts dark, ends dark. This is a very dark fragrance, a very mysterious. To me, when I was trying this fragrance out for the first time, I don't know why I got a Tom Ford vibe from this fragrance. You know, if you have smelled fragrances from Tom Ford, and I even brought it here with me, energy-wise is definitely like Black Orchid. Darkness, depth-wise is definitely like Black Orchid. Scent-wise is not like Black Orchid, but energy-wise is the same very serious, mysterious, grounding, dark kind of fragrance. But here I detect a lot of green accents to me. See, I'm not really sure if they have listed it or not, but I do detect this very like rich, woody style of accord that feels almost a little bit round and creamy. That's perhaps because of the amber listed here, but it doesn't smell ambery per se to the point where it exudes warmth from within, you know, so you have this warming up sensation when you smell this fragrance. No, to me, the amber accord here just provides a lot of richness to the fragrance, so the fragrance doesn't feel flat in a way. It has a lot of richness and depth when you smell it. It's a very layered fragrance, it's a very multifaceted fragrance, you guys. So I get this rich woody accord that feels pretty round and dense and full-bodied, and I get a lot of different green accents to me. I definitely detect the patchouli, you guys. 10 minutes in is when the patchouli will start to shine more and more, and it adds to my nose this very mysterious, grounding, green, slightly aromatic, not very earthy like damp soil, but definitely very grounding energy to the fragrance. And I also detect another green facet that adds almost like a forest-like greenness to the fragrance. So there I see a little bit coniferous. Yeah, I don't know why, you guys, but I detect a woody suede-like accord here. Why I say woody suede? Because oud smells like oud, a woody accord smells like a woody accord, and a suede accord smells like a suede accord. But you guys, when it comes to oud accord, so it's not like real oud, it's an oud accord. An oud accord is created with the help of certain, let's just say, ingredients that go into creating a suede accord as well. This is why in some fragrances with an oud accord, some people might detect a leathery facet, because you use common aroma chemicals, I guess you could say, to build up on that accord, you know, so it exudes this oud-like aroma. Now I get an oud-like aroma. This is why I say slightly woody, slightly woody, slightly suede-like. I also detect a gentle bitter-like facet in the background, like something slightly green and bitter, and what's the word? Like dried herbs. That's the smell I get. Dried herbs, but slightly bitter, but green at the same time. So to me, you guys, this fragrance is made around a very rich, dense, heavy base of an woody, suede-like accord. I cannot really pinpoint what it is. And then on top of that accord, they have built different accents in a way, you know. In the opening you had that accord, but with a fruity freshness from the green apple, then quickly followed by that fruity-like freshness. I'm guessing it's pineapple, so I will just say pineapple. Yeah. And after that, in the heart, to me it's a woody forward fragrance with different green accents, but it feels resinous, not really balsamic, but resinous, richness-wise, but it's not a very warm fragrance, if you can picture what I mean. So you guys, who I feel like would enjoy this fragrance, to me, smelling it on my skin, I couldn't pull this fragrance off. To me, even though, let's just say note-wise, like I have fragrances that I wear with a very dominant woody accord, but to me this would definitely shine better on a man. Like if I were to say, do I prefer to smell this fragrance on me or on a man? On a man for sure. But let me tell you the kind of man that would wear this fragrance, because to me, you guys, this fragrance, like I told you, this exudes this very mysterious aura about it. It's not the kind of fragrance, let's just say, I wouldn't picture this fragrance on that very cocky man, you know, the loudest in the room, you know, not, it's definitely not the kind of fragrance. I would picture this fragrance on a man who's very mysterious. Perhaps he's a little bit more reserved. He's definitely not the loudest in the room, but when he speaks with confidence. He's very put together. He takes very good care of himself. A suit, he wears a suit. I don't know why in my mind he wears a suit when I smell this fragrance, but he has that quiet confidence, you know. And he has, like I told you, a very intense eye gaze. I don't know why. To me, this fragrance feels very refined. It feels very smooth. It's not the kind of fragrance, again, that raw masculinity, you know, or the fragrance that exudes this raw masculinity about it. It's a fragrance that definitely feels more refined. It's a fragrance that you need to have a certain energy, or you need to carry yourself in a certain way to vibe with this fragrance in the first place and then to wear this fragrance. And also, like I've mentioned, to me this gives me Tom Ford vibes for sure. Like Tom Ford would definitely wear this fragrance. Like if you ask me, Tom Ford would definitely wear this fragrance and he would rock it, you know. It has that vibe about it. So it's very, again, dark, you know, it's very mysterious, but it's very put together and elegant at the same time. So to me, smelling this fragrance, this is not the kind of fragrance that you wear with a pair of jeans and a random cotton t-shirt, you know. To me, maybe you could wear it in warm weather, but on a night out. But even on a night out in warm weather, I do think you need to be a little bit more put together on a day-to-day basis to appreciate this fragrance, or not even to appreciate it, to pull it off. Even though, you know, like I always say, you wear whatever you like, you know, but at the same time, when a fragrance exudes this elegance about it, I cannot come here and tell you, oh yes, this is very versatile, you can wear it with sportswear, you can wear it with, I don't know, like flip-flops, God forbid. No, you guys, this fragrance exudes elegance, so to me you need the outfit that matches your style, your aesthetic, your vibe, the elegance of this fragrance, you know. So those were my thoughts on these two fragrances. Now let me tell you, between all these three fragrances, let me tell you which do I prefer the most. So you guys, between all these three fragrances, I have to say my favorite one is still this one. This fragrance smells like me by now. I've worn it so much. This, you guys, is definitely more playful, more flirty, more naughty, a little bit provocative here and there. It's sweeter, it's denser, it's more vanillic, more caramel, and the suede accord with the woody accord add a slight darkness to the fragrance. But to me, I adore this fragrance. I adore this fragrance. Like this fragrance, I adore it. I adore it. I adore it. I've worn it so much. I have so many amazing memories with it. So I'd say this, if you are like me and if you resonate with my taste and maybe you wanted to try out some fragrances from Tomavicci, I'd say definitely try this one. But you guys, get best to purchase the Discovery Kit in case you're interested and test all of them, because who knows, you might be on the hunt, let's just say, for a fragrance that's a bit more serious, a bit more put together, you know. To me, like I told you, is this really an elegant fragrance? I mean, look, I wear it when I want to feel elegant as well, but I have to be very honest, I also wear it because to me it's very playful and fun and a little bit provocative and flirty, but a tasteful kind of provocative and flirty, you know, nothing very promiscuous or something like this. It just activates that energy within you, that like slight flirty energy, you know. Yeah, so guys, this is everything I wanted to say in today's video. If you have tried Empyrean or Ange Noir or Zenobia, definitely let me know your thoughts on these fragrances. Or if you have tried the other fragrances from the house, definitely let me know what you think about them, if you enjoyed them, if you found any fragrance that you absolutely have fallen in love with. For me, Zenobia, it's hard. It's hard to beat this fragrance. To me, they created a masterpiece with this fragrance. They created a masterpiece, even though, like I've mentioned, it shares a very similar energy to La Capitale, to Mula Mula, but still, you guys, it follows a direction of its own in a sense. It was not created as a dupe or anything like this. It just has the same caramelized fruity accord in a way. But here, to me, you know what, let me not talk about Zenobia, because this video is not about Zenobia, but yeah. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to watch my review for Zenobia in case you are interested. Like I've mentioned, if you have tried any of these two fragrances from today's video, I would love to hear your thoughts on them. Also, thank you so much to the team for sending me these two fragrances to review them. I love exploring your brand. I love discovering your fragrances. But still, this fragrance, you created a masterpiece with this fragrance. This, to me, a true masterpiece. Of course, maybe I'm a little bit biased when I say this, but I love this fragrance so much, you guys. I have so many amazing memories with this fragrance that it holds a very special place in my heart. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, you guys. Don't forget you can follow me on Instagram. If you have any video ideas, any fragrances you would like me to review, definitely put all of them in the comment section down below, and I promise that I will get back to you. Today's video was supposed to be a little bit more quick, so let's close it off, but I will see you in my next video. But until then, I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye guys.